Gladiabots in 80 notes. Exceedingly efficient AI in collection. Hello there, fellow nerds. In this video, I will show you my 80 notes collection AI and test it in campaign. Let's start with the assault bot. First, on the left, you can see there's a shot clock, making sure that every shot the assault starts to fire will be completed. Then there's the retreat. If the shield is below 50% and at least one enemy is attacking us, we drop the resource, we retreat from all enemy bots attacking us that are not out of range, and we have this waiting node to make sure that we don't step back into range again and get stuck in a loop. Also, if an enemy is close to us at short range or medium range, we will attack this enemy and always drop our resource. Then we will attack any enemy at short range or medium range, or we will attack enemies when they are below 50% shield and we moved into the range a little bit. This is done by using a counter mechanic. If there is no enemy fulfilling our condition, we reset counter 2 to 0. Otherwise, we increment counter 2 by the number of enemies below 50% shield that are not out of range. And only if this enemy is in our range for at least 3 ticks, then we will start attacking this enemy. It makes sure that we don't start attacking from the edge from long range to out of range, and we will most likely finish our shot before the enemy can step out of range again. For the scoring, there are only a few nodes. First, we will always score to the closest ally base at short range. That's even more important than all our retreat and our attacking. If this is not possible, we will score the resource to the closest ally base at short range or medium range, which makes sure that we don't take walks for long distances if there is an ally base nearby. Then our default scoring node is the famous Usura node. We score the resource to the closest ally base at long range from closest enemy or out of range from the closest enemy. It makes sure that we try to avoid fights and score safely without being stopped by the enemy. For collecting, the default node is to catch the closest resource, not approached by an ally. This is basically an N-type structure AI, but we have one special condition. If the enemy score is equal to 0, that means the enemy team hasn't scored a single resource yet, then we catch the closest resource not on our side, but on the enemy side of the arena. Therefore, we have a very thievery setup, which will always pressure on the enemy side and try to steal resources until the enemy starts scoring. Then we should most likely stop pushing and start scoring the closest resources ourselves. This is a very dynamic approach, so we use the information what our enemy team is doing and we adapt to the strategy of the enemy. Last but not least, if there are no resources left to catch, then we just move towards the closest enemy. For the shotgun, the AI looks very similar. You will notice that the scoring logic is exactly the same. We score to a base at short range, short medium range, or to a base that is not close to an enemy. And also the logic for catching resources is similar. We usually do an N-type approach, but we try to steal resources until the enemy scores their first resource. And we also approach the closest enemy. Now, for the retreat, we do the same basically as for the assault. If our shield is below 50%, we drop the resource, we flee from all enemies attacking us, and we wait outside of range so we don't get stuck in a loop. More important than that is to always keep attacking an enemy at short range, because the shotgun does devastating damage at short range, and you don't want to retreat once you got there. We keep attacking the closest enemy bot that is attacked by us, and we also start attacking an enemy that is trying to attack us at short range or medium range. Now you might ask yourself, what happens if an enemy doesn't attack us at short range or medium range? Will we always move to short range? The answer is no. Again, we have this little counter mechanic that we wait a little bit before attacking enemies. And this makes us move closer to the enemies and ignore them for a little bit. So we are more likely to finish our shot and to deal some damage against the enemy. So we basically move 3 steps forward, then we drop the resource, and then we attack enemies. For the sniper, we only have some very basic fighting logic. We move to all enemy bots, which makes us move to their average position. And then we start attacking at long range, and we keep attacking at long range. Here we have a simple basic shot clock, which makes again sure that our sniper will continue to attack the same enemy and finish its shot. And we have again this logic that we move a few steps into range before we start attacking. Also the retreat, if we are below 50% shield and we are attacked by an enemy, we flee from all enemies attacking us and we wait outside of range safely. One special thing to notice is that we will not flee if our shot is about to finish. The sniper will take a little bit of risk when it wants to finish the current shot, so it doesn't get interrupted all the time. Chapter 2, Level 1. You can see that the sniper is fighting against the enemy team, while the shotgun has decided to score a resource to the bottom base. An assault bot is joining it, and the enemy machine gun is wasting a lot of time attacking them from long range. You should not do that. Chapter 2, Level 2. Again, you can see that our bots will try to score the resources, while the enemy is busy attacking from long range. Chapter 2, Level 3. The enemy is scoring very quickly and steals the central resource, which is detrimental to our strategy. So indeed, Chapter 2 Level 3 defeats a Grandmaster level AI. Don't be discouraged by those difficulty spikes in campaign. I'm sure you will find a way to beat this level. Chapter 2 Level 4. Our shotgun steals the central resource, and the sniper is killing some enemies, and we win the match. Chapter 2 Level 5. Again, we collect the central resources and destroy all enemies blocking our path. The first few levels of campaign are very easy. Chapter 2, Final Stage. Here we have our bases on the enemy side of the arena, but it doesn't matter when the enemy bots still get destroyed very often, and it's very easy to push right through them. Although our bots struggle a little bit. Chapter 3, Level 1. Here the central resource is really important, and our shotgun is able to steal it. Now we win the match. Chapter 3, Level 2. Another situation where it's really important that you get central control over the map. Chapter 3, Level 3. Here the resources at the top are very far to the side, so most bots try to ignore them. Chapter 3, Level 4. Now, this is an interesting decision to make, because there are 6 resources on the top of the arena and 5 resources on the bottom. Do you split your team up and try to collect some on both sides of the arena? Or do you push with your team only to one side, trying to score the majority of the resources? Chapter 3, Level 5. We have some pretty good attacking from our assault bot, destroying the enemy shotgun, trying to trick it. And now we fight for the central resources and win. Chapter 3, Final Stage. Again, there's one central resource, getting stolen by our shotgun. Perfect. Now it's a walk in the park. Chapter 4, Level 1. At this point I'm expecting to see less all-assault teams, as they are just not viable against super quick shotguns and snipers, which do a good area control on the map. In theory they should be inferior. Chapter 4, Level 2. Now this enemy is using a shotgun but no sniper. Therefore I'm pretty sure we will be able to win this central fight for the resource. Chapter 4, Level 3. This enemy team is using a sniper to fight, but no shotgun to score resources. This enemy team is using a sniper to fight, but no shotgun to score resources. So I think we should be able to win this. Now we are just collecting some resources. Chapter 4, Level 4. It's pretty interesting to see no shotguns. I think you really need them. Their high movement speed is incredibly good for collection, as you can see. Chapter 4, Level 5. Again, the central resource here is really important, and our shotgun is able to steal it. Perfect. Now we have to fight for the resources that are left on the map and just score them to our bases. But where to go? Our bots seem to split up, which is a questionable decision. It seems like the enemy shotgun might catch it. Oh no! We have been defeated once again, but this is not uncommon to see in Collection. Here are the highest swings in performance, depending on the map. Chapter 4, Final Stage. We fight for the central resource and we seem to win it. Perfect, we win the match. Chapter 5, Level 1. Please notice that our sniper is more aggressive than the enemy sniper. This makes us win all those central fights, I think. And then it's only a matter of technique to score the remaining resources. Or is it? Chapter 5, Level 2. Here you can see that the enemy team is too slow and not focused on the central resource. Chapter 5, Level 3. Now, this is again very difficult to decide whether you should try to catch this one lonely resource at the top or devote all your team and fighting power to the bottom in order to fight over there. Because the bases are flipped on the enemy side of the arena, no one is really making progress, but we were able to score 2 resources before the time runs out. Chapter 5, Level 4. I'm surprised to see an all-assault team again, but they can be very dangerous, trying to score very quickly, not bothering about fighting for resources. Chapter 5, Level 5. We see that the enemy shotgun picked up the resource first, but we were able to destroy it and catch it. You can see pretty clearly how our bots are ignoring all resources on our side of the arena until the enemy scored the first resource. Chapter 5, Final Stage. Now, this time the enemy shotgun is trying to catch the central resource, but in the meantime our shotgun is doing some theory magic. The enemy machine gun is really annoying, blocking our side, but now that it's destroyed, we win the match. Chapter 6, Level 1. Here it's really important to fight for the central resource, but the enemy seems to be more worried about stealing from our side. That's interesting. And it seems like we have to fight for the remaining resources. We still need one more resource to win this match. Our bots are trying to escort the resources to the base, but get interrupted by the enemy attacks. Now we win. Chapter 6, Level 2. You can again see our strategy play out perfectly. Our assaults and shotguns are pretty easy scoring those resources. Chapter 6, Level 3. Again, in collection you should not worry about fighting too much. It's more important to just score the resources. Use your sniper to get a little bit of area control, but everything else is just really about scoring those things. Chapter 6, Level 4. Now the shotguns get traded in the center of the arena, and the enemy wins, but on the upside, one of our assault bots was a good thief, scoring run resource on the enemy side of the arena. That leaves us in a big advantage. Chapter 6, Level 5. Again, one of our assaults is a good thief and steals a resource on the top of the enemy arena side. So, we win the match. Chapter 6, Final Stage. Notice that the enemy team becomes better and better in fighting, and we have more troubles destroying their bots and making progress and scoring those resources. Both teams scored 3 resources right now, and it's a race against the clock. But it seems we still have the better combat system. Hooray! Chapter 7, Level 1. This level is really difficult because the enemy steals the central resource, which leaves us in a big disadvantage. Now we have to fight for the remaining resources, which is really difficult, because the enemy team has a good combat already. Chapter 7, Level 1. On this map, the central resource is really important, and the enemy just scored it. While we are trying to steal resources from the enemy side of the arena, the enemy machine gun is scoring another resource, and the enemy shotgun is scoring another resource, and the enemy machine gun is about to score another resource. And that's how you lose a match in 30 seconds. It's pretty devastating if you lose control over the central resource so quickly, and stealing resources from the enemy side doesn't work. Chapter 7, Level 2. Here we have better chances to fight for the central resource and score it into our base. Now we just have to score the remaining resources. Chapter 7, Level 3. Again, our bots catch the central resource, destroy the enemy shotgun, and are very keen on trying to steal even more resources, while the enemy team is pushing towards our sniper. At least they don't try to score resources on our side of the arena, but it seems like the enemy team might be able to win this. No, we have the better combat system. Chapter 7, Level 4. Again, the central resource is detrimental to win this match. But what's also possible is to just steal resources from the enemy side, which our team wants to do. Chapter 7, Level 5. you will see that the enemies get better and better in fighting, and also their shotguns start to steal resources from our side. Chapter 7, Final Stage. Here it's very questionable to send one assault bot to the top, catching some resources over there. And meanwhile the enemy team is scoring some resources from the center, which seems not good for us, actually. Yet we get the final resource. Chapter 8, Level 1. Again, we try to steal resources, while the enemy team is more focused on the central resource, which seems to be the superior strategy, in my opinion. Although, we might be able to score resource in the center. Not quite. That doesn't look good for us. Maybe we get a stalemate, a draw, because I think no one will be able to score this final resource in time. Well, you can't always win, sometimes you have to accept a draw, just like in chess. Chapter 8, Level 2. Again, our assault bot is going for this one resource at the top, trying to steal it. And it doesn't quite work. But we get the majority of resources. Chapter 8, Level 3. I think you can see pretty well how our bots are scoring resources on both sides of the arena. We are using the technique to flank and fight everywhere. This makes us win those matches. Chapter 8, Level 4. We lose the central resource, but in the meantime we steal some resources from the enemy side. And if we are able to score them to our side, then it's all fine and it's all okay. You also have to do some wave management. Chapter 8, Level 5. Again, we fight for some resources which are really far away from the bases. Maybe that's not the right choice. But okay, if we are winning the fights, I guess we can fight. This is basically Rainan's strategy. If you win every fight, you never have to worry about engaging. And just like that. No, not quite. We win by timeout. Chapter 8, Final Stage. The enemy gets the central resource. So the question is, will we be able to score one resource on the enemy side? Yes, we are, but it doesn't look good for us actually. The enemy team is pushing very good, and the enemy shotgun is scoring the final resource. Again, we lost another match. It seems like those opponents get better and better. Chapter 9, Level 1. You can see that our shotgun was superior to the enemy shotgun until it got destroyed. Chapter 9, Level 1. While the enemy shotgun is going for the central resource, our shotgun is stealing a resource from the enemy side of the arena. But now that it got destroyed, it looks very promising for the enemy. unless they lose control over this one resource. Let's see if we are able to get another score done. Do it, shotgun, do it. You're so close. Oh, this is intense. It's a draw again. Wow, by timeout. Chapter 9, Level 2. Finally, our shotgun is catching the central resource and helping the assault bots. I think we should be able to win this. Just score one more resource. Either the one at the left or the one at the right. Only one of them is enough. Chapter 9, Level 3. The enemy shotgun trades itself against one of our assault bots, which is not a good choice, I would say. Shotguns are more valuable and should not waste time hunting enemies. Chapter 9, Level 4. Fight for the central resource, my bots. And win this fight, because you are more aggressive. That's perfect. Chapter 9, Level 5. Please notice that being more aggressive is achieved by moving more forward, not by attacking more. That's the one key concept that you have to understand about collection. And now we have to push and catch another resource. Chapter 9, Final Stage. Again, we fight and fight. And our shotgun gets the central resource. Perfect. So we win the match. It's as easy as that. Chapter 10, Level 1. We fight and we push, and our assault bot does some good stealing. Well done. It scores 2 resources. No, it scores 3 resources from the enemy side. It scores 4 resources from the enemy side. The MVP of this match. But now, what is this? No, don't leave it so close to the enemy base. No! That's unlucky. I don't even know what happened there. We don't talk about that. Chapter 10, Level 2. Now, we get the central resource. And we distract the enemies on the enemy side of the arena. Meanwhile, one of our assault bots is again the MVP and scores all of our resources. Perfect. Chapter 10, Level 3. The enemy shotgun is stealing the central resource, but we are stealing resources at the top. Let's see which strategy works out to be better. We fight, and the enemy seems to get those resources actually. Now we have to prove that we can stall this enemy team and prevent it from scoring. No, we can't. So you can see the enemy teams in collection are pretty powerful, and I guess I have to invest more time and more nodes to be able and compete against them more consistently. But sometimes we can win. Chapter 10, Level 5. Still, I hope this demonstrates how strong some 80 nodes can be, and how well some logic works, some small logic. Chapter 10, Final Stage. Most noticeably, it's important to say that we don't use any resource tracking, which I guess nowadays pretty almost everyone uses. But we don't need that, we use this adaptive small node strategy, and we still are doing quite well. Or are we? Looks like the enemy team here is really strong again, but the timeout should mean that it's a draw for the final. So, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.